I may have made it known that I was a little disappointed that DC decided once again to push Cassandra Cain out of the Bat costume, which was maybe less than a year or so. Then they put her back into the costume, which was not that long after they pushed her out of the costume once again. It's been very indecisive editorialship right here. And I think it does have something to do with the fact that they just don't understand the character, and they don't, I don't know, they feel like they're stuck with it. Or maybe there's this philosophy in DC that you can't really make the readers come unless you have a new change. Which is why we see this all over comicdom right now, and all the characters, really. Why there's so much mandatory change. Death of characters, characters getting into costumes, people making deals with the devil so they could erase their marriage, so they could start their life over as a fucking teenager. But that's another story. What I'm talking about is Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, who made her debut during the No Man's Land story, and I believe this is her first issue. I may be an issue or two off, she may have made a cameo, but the story really starts getting going here. 567. The story is called The Mark of Cain, an issue of Batman, and it's continued in part 2 of 734 in Detective Comics. And assassin, the greatest assassin ever, David Cain, decides to, well, not decides, he gets paid to take out Commissioner Gordon, who's trying to rebuild Gotham. Meanwhile, Huntress, who had taken up the Batgirl costume, has been politely asked, or maybe not so politely asked, to stop doing it, leaving that costume kind of just laying around. Cassandra is this mute girl who apparently knows only the word stop, who's been taken under the wing of Barbara Gordon. And Cassandra knows who's trying to kill Jim Gordon. It's none other than her father, who trained her from birth, apparently, to kill. He was hoping to create the world's most perfect assassin, and he eventually did it in the form of her. When she was 8 years old, that's where everything changed. Now let me tell you something a little bit about the differences between Batman and Batgirl. Batman was traumatized at 8 years old when he saw the murder of his parents. Cassandra Cain, when she was 8 years old, murdered somebody. And that was the thing that changed her life. And this story also includes mixing it up with Two-Face. Let's see, when she was 8, she jumped up on the table and tore out the target's throat with her own hand. And later in that story, she grabs Two-Face by the throat. And look at his face. He knows what the fuck is going on. I've rarely seen Two-Face that frightened by any other character. I was instantly intrigued by this person. She was created by Kelly Pucket, the writer, and Damian Scott, artist. And their run on Batgirl ran 37 issues. Now, the first few issues were a little awkward. It's kind of tough to do a character that can't talk. And I think this was Damian Scott's first comic book series, so occasionally the scenes were a little jumpy from scene to scene. So I'd say the first 6 issues are a little off, but they're very interesting, and a lot of them are kind of little stories that kind of build up into a big story. I give this run right here, I'd say 4 ram chips. It's very interesting, but not perfect. That's when things kind of got interesting for the next few issues. A psychic fixed her mind. And this is obviously a quick fix. But, so she could understand language, and she could even talk. The problem is this instantly screwed up her fighting ability. Her fighting ability depended a lot on her ability to read body language. Her ability to read body language is perfect. She can read it like you and I could read a Rob Liefeld comic book. And she temporarily lost this ability, and it made her completely defenseless, where she just had no idea how to block a punch at all. This problem was solved when Lady Shiva just suddenly appeared in her life and told her that she could teach her, just in a few minutes, how to get this power back, how to get this ability back. But she had to do something. She had to make a deal that within a year they will meet and fight to the death and bring it all. So she agrees, and she doesn't tell Batman about this. This sequence is just terrific. I just enjoy every bit that Lady Shiva and Batgirl appear. And there are great moments here, here, here. Oh, there's, let's see, earlier here in the issue. I think it's this one, Batman one. Batman wants to see how good of a fighter she is. She throws a punch here and says, "No, I want it. You know, don't hold back. You don't have to with me." And so she looks a little weird, and he goes, "You're out of shape. You need to." And he starts coughing up blood. Okay, she hit Batman so fast. She not only made him cough up blood, but she did it faster than he even realized. Essentially, she is a better fighter than Batman. And I do wonder if that has something to do with the fact that she keeps getting kicked out of the comics. I mean, God forsake, we have one of the female sidekicks be better at something than Batman. Now, granted, I'm not saying that Batman would lose to Batgirl. I mean, for God's sakes, he's Batman. He can beat fucking Darkseid. He can come up with a different way. Now, there's some okay stories here, here, and here. One of my favorites is Batgirl issue 13, where she comes to the aid of an assassin who decided not to kill his target. And it opens up with this incredible sequence of her out of costume, facing down laser sight armed agents trying to kill her. And she dodges all the bullets. And check out this last panel. She's smiling. It's not even hard for her. And she rescues the guy. There's a scene where one of the agents tells her that we could take your whole life, your family, your friends, we can turn them against you. And then she laughs and says, my friends will find you. Loved it. This is great. And of course, we go through the next few issues. Issue 21 is magnificent. It's her versus the Shadow Thief. And of course, issue 25 is probably my favorite of this run. It's where they finally have the fight between Lady Shiva and Batgirl. The Kelly Pucket run is just magnificent. He uses what he learned kind of on the Batman animated comic books to build a story arc out of little stories. Also, the fast-paced art and the fast-paced fight sequences just made this the most exciting action comic to read for just a few years while they were doing it. I recommend the whole run, even though the first few issues are a little awkward. And the trades, how much time we got? Okay. The trades include Silent Running, issues 1 through 6, A Night Alone, which is 7 through 11 and 13 and 14, Death Wish, which runs from issue 17 to 25, and Fists of Fury, which is issues 15 through 28. And some of these are a little jumpy because they omitted crossovers, so that's another reason to hate crossovers. But that's the Kelly Pucket Damian Scott run. I give that run 5 Ram Chips easy. Push the button, Lindsay.